So, race 19 in your programme, and we start with number 5, Matt Fumarola and Andy Wilson. They get second place, so 5 points to them. Number 6, Richard Moore and Rob Winspear, 1 point. Number 14, Neal Owen and Dylan Davis, 2 points. Number 30, Stefan and Carl Blythe, 4 points. 62, Peter Lloyd and Terry Madley, 3 points. Maximum 7 points to 183, Ian Lee Amos and Paul Phillips. A winning time of 131.23. 131.23. As we now move to race 20. Paul Bickley and Paul Silvera right on the inside gate. They had a win first time out. Next to them, number 17, Dave Steer and John Richards also had a win first time out. Next to them is number 15, Ivor Matthews and Tony Myles. A very hard fought second place in their first ride. The starter wanted to make sure first turn. Dave Steer, I think it is, has got to the front. He's got Ivor Matthews right there with him, and he's forced Ivor to go wide. Ivor Matthews on the outside, Dave Steer on the inside, and it's Dave Steer that makes the best of it. Down to the bottom turn they go, and Ivor Matthews again is forced very, very wide. Dave Steer gets a look at him, sees he's there and reacts. Quickly and Silvera in third place at the moment, and this is a much better ride for Matthew Tyrrell, who's in fourth spot, but the fighting's still going on at the front. Dave Steer and passenger Simon Beanie for this afternoon. Going well, holding off Ivor Matthews and Tony Myles. Can they do it for the duration of the race? Ivor Matthews has always been right on that back wheel, looking for a way through, and there he goes. Ivor Matthews and Tony Myles take over the lead. They waited for their opportunity, forced a gap, and they got themselves through, and they now look as if they're going to start to pull away. That was a holding game, and Dave Steer's got problems. Dave Steer pulls out. Very, very disappointing to see Dave Steer pulling out, but Paul Bickley, of course, gets elevated up into second place. Then you've got number 69, Matthew Tyrrell and Sean Yates in third. But as the checkered flag is made ready, it's Ivor Matthews and Tony Myles that take the win. So, race 20 in your programme, and certainly one full of drama. It ended up with rider number 8, Paul Bickley, and passenger Paul Silvera on 5 points for their second place. Number 15, Ivor Matthews and Tony Myles get maximum 7 points. Number 17, Dave Steer and Simon Beanie, 1 point. Number 69, Matthew Tyrrell and Sean Yates, 4 points. Number 184, John Hiscock and Simon Wall, 2 points. Number 748, Lewis Cook and Robert Hargreave, 3 points, as the winning time is recorded as 131.74. 131.74, 58.50. Darren Rolph on 11 points. Dolman on 11 points. And also, if you look at Martin Williams and Mark Chilman on 10 points, they can all still get back into it. It is Trevor Banks and Serge Schumacher to go in this one. They're all going very cautiously into that first turn. Andrew Appleton is in there in second place now. But as they move down the back straight, it is Trevor Banks that's setting the pace. Cautiously they attack that top end. Schumacher is in third place at the moment. Darren Rolph in fourth place. And we've lost number 153, Tom Cooper, unfortunately, on that top end. So Tom being caught out on that top end. The conditions are horrendous for the riders at the moment. Trevor Banks, experience. Andrew Appleton looks over his shoulder very cautiously. I think he might be content. No, he's got problems. I was just about to say he looks content to go for that second place. But he's hit problems. It means that Serge Schumacher gets up into second place. Darren Rolph in third. And Andrew Appleton's got going again. So what that was, I don't know, but he's certainly got the machinery going. Trevor Banks has one more lap to go to get maximum points, and Darren Rolph Well, I know he has a tradition of riding a wide line, but that was just a bit too wide. Almost wall of death as he went up the boards going down here in front of us. He must have thought he was coming over to join you. But the checker flag goes for Trevor Banks. In second place goes Sir Shoeback, and Andrew Appleton gets third place. Well, Darren is coming round to get fourth place finish, but I think that must have really shook him as he hit the boards coming out of this top bend. Then we start from the top. Number 1, Sir Shoeback, 8 points. Number 2, Trevor Banks for that win, maximum 10 points. Number 4, Andrew Appleton, 6 points. No score for Jim Groon, number 5. No score for 30 and 38. 41, Darren Rolph, a tremendous 5 points there, very hard earned. And no points for 42, Glen Phillips. The reserve did come out there, number 153, Tom Cooper, but he didn't score. The winning time was 131.21, 131.21, 58.84 was the average speed. And again, we've got riders in this one that know a good performance here will get them into the A final. There is that get out of jail card that if they get into the B, they can win it and get elevated up into the A. But a great scrap developing from that first bend. Jeremy Doncaster was leading, but he's now lost the lead to Mitch Godden, who's taken over. Mitch leading as they come down in second. Mitch Godden in third. Mark Chilman in fourth at the moment. As they sort themselves out, Jeremy Doncaster in all sorts of trouble again coming out of that pit bend. He really doesn't look to be enjoying that one. Mitch Godden having to elevate Mitch up into position to go into that A final. And he'll probably know that as well. Paul Cooper still there in second place. There's a big gap between Paul and Jeremy Doncaster. Mark Chilman trying to get close to the back wheel of Jeremy Doncaster. With one more lap to go, it's that are battling it out for the lead. Jeremy Doncaster fighting to hang on to third place. Mark Chilman continually getting close to him. Dave Mears is up there in 5th place. And I'm watching anxiously that battle for first and that battle for third, because look at Paul Cooper go around the outside of Mitch Godden. He's gone the long way round, he's done it the hard way, but he's actually done it. He gets across the line. Mitch Godden has to be content with second. Jeremy Doncaster does hang on to third place, and Mark Chilman finishes in fourth. From the top then, number 6, Jeremy Doncaster, finished with 6 points. Number 9, Mitch Godden, 8 points for that second place. Number 10, Dave Mears, 4 points. Number 11, Paul Cooper, maximum 10 points. That's making it 2 out of 3 rides this afternoon with a win. A lot further down the programme you go and you'll find number 58, Mark Chilman. He gets 5 points. No points for 65 and 73. Number 83, Nathan Irwin, 3 points. The winning time, 130.62, 130.62, an average speed of 59.23. So as we now transfer their points into the overall points chart, we've got 2 more races to go in terms of qualification. But for the moment, we turn our attention to the 750 sidecars. And let's give you the position as we go into these last rides, because going, or should I say, out in front at the moment is, with 2 rides and 2 wins, number 1, Malcolm Goodwin and Gary Rockall. We will see them in this one, and they come to the line going on that inside gate number 1. Number 10, Keith Drury and Reinhard Schubert are on 12 points. Number 3, Lester Goodwin and Andrew Stevens are on 12 points as well. They go in this one. And number 23, the reserve, doing very well. That's Tony Starke. Not sure which one he'll go in, because he is obviously taking one of the other rides. he's on 9 points. Number 6, Alphon, Hugo and Francois on 8 points. To go into that first turn, it is Lester Goodwin that's got a better of it. Malcolm Goodwin is back in what is possibly 3rd place at the moment as they sort themselves out getting around that first turn. But it's Lester Goodwin that's got away and goes down that back straight. So where is the challenge going to come from? As we pick them up for you as they come round past me, again cautiously going around these first couple of turns, getting to see how the service is. Brian Palmer and Danny Hogg working away in that is now 4th place. They've let Malcolm Goodwin go through. But at the moment it's all eyes on Lester Goodwin because he really has got away from the rest of the field. This will be his 2nd win of the afternoon. Challenging down past Richard Vollews in 2nd place. Malcolm Goodwin and Gary Rockall in 3rd. But Brian Palmer hasn't given up as he goes round the outside of Malcolm Goodwin and gets that 3rd place back. Now the both of them starting to close on Raymond de Roy as they go into this pit bend. Brian Palmer again looking for the outside. And Brian Palmer's certainly done it the hard way, but he's managed to stay in 2nd place. Now, can Malcolm Goodwin follow him? Raymond de Roy still there in 3rd place at the moment, but Malcolm Goodwin has seen what Brian Palmer did. Can he do the same thing? He closes up on him in that 3rd place. And look at the distance that Lester Goodwin has got. The checker flag is made ready, and it is Lester Goodwin and Andrew Stevens that take the win. And it is Malcolm Goodwin and Gary Rockall that get through to 3rd. So that's certainly going to make the point situation interesting. On this competition, that makes the point situation very interesting. We get from the top, number 1, Malcolm Goodwin and Gary Rockall scoring 4 points in race 23. No score for number 2, Steve Kensington. 7 maximum points to number 3, Lester Goodwin and Andrew Stevens. 5 points to number 7, Brian Palmer and Danny Hogg. 2 points to number 8, Andy Kerrison and Laura Kerrison. 3 points to Raymond de Roy and Richard Volleys. The winning time was 140.65. 140.65, 53.32 that averages. Out on that first turn, and look at Keith Drury on the outside. He's in 2nd place at the moment and going through into the lead. He watched what everybody else was doing in that first bend. He let them all go, and he went all the way around the outside and got a good line up that back straight. Clive Willis is up in 2nd place at the moment. Clive Willis trying to push for that win, but he's holding on to 2nd at the moment. I look to the front. I was expecting Keith Drury to do this one, I'll be honest, but he's done it in tremendous style, and he's certainly making sure that the one I was looking out for was the reserve, number 23, Tony Starke. He's back in 4th place at the moment, and the battle seems to be between Marco Handruska and Clive Willis for that 2nd place. The two of them together again. Clive Willis on the inside. Marco Handruska is still there on the outside. working very hard indeed. Marco Hansruka was a very, very experienced passenger. He's turned his hand to driving now, and although he had one or two upsets earlier on this afternoon by getting too much drive on the start, but he certainly looks as if he's sorted it out now. And if we see the checker flag being prepared, Keith Drury makes no mistake. The checker flag is Willis gets second, Drury takes third. So the points for the last qualifying ride for the 750 Sidecars. From the top then, number 4, Chris Salisbury, Gary Hughes, no score. Number 5, Rick Doifus and Francis Goodruff, 2 points. Number 6, Alphon Pugel and Franz Huber, 1 point. Number 10, Keith Drury and Reinhard Schubert, 7 points. Number 11, Marco Hansruka and Mario Siebert, 4. Number 12, Clive Willis and Steve Ashby, 5. The reserve, Tony Starke and Darren Wood, 3. The winning time, 144.60. Back to the 500cc solo, and we're already in and underway with race 25 in your programme. Well, it looks to me like Matt Reid has made the best of the start as they come round past me. In third place. Paul Hurry looking to make it a maximum 3 rides and 3 wins. Trying to pull away from Matt Reid in that second spot. Mick Crone still there in third place. At the tear off, so make sure you be still scoring enough points, I think, to get into the A final with the second. But Paul Hurry wants to remain unbeaten by the look of it. He really has got the measure of this circuit this afternoon. It's changed all afternoon. But he's Mick Groen still there in third. Then there's a big gap back to Darren in fourth place. And as the checker flag is prepared, it's going to be another very commanding victory for rider number 15, Paul Hurry. Has made a very good start. Remember, he didn't get any points at all in his first ride. Paul Knott is the rider in second place at the moment, and Paul must know that he's got a chance of making it. He's on 16 points at the moment. So a good ride here, and he could get himself into that A final. I think the best Dean Barker can hope for is that this win here will get him into the B final. He could win that and get through into the A final. Needs a lot more riding, but there is a way through. Not getting to Dean Barker as the race progresses through. Steve Braidford is the rider then in third place. But all eyes, I'm sure, on Paul Knott. He's not giving up at all, is he? He's chasing Dean Barker down all the way. they come round off that top end again, they get close. Very, very experienced speedway rider, and of course, not seen him here before on the Tunbridge circuit. Knott goes a long way round, and indeed Knott, he looks to be having an attack on the outside. Well, he certainly would have let Dean Barker know that he's there now, and I wonder if there is going to be yet another attack on this last turn. Knott driving very hard and very wide. It's not going to be enough. He takes second. Dean Barker gets the win. So let's quickly give you the result of race 25. That was 25, starting with number 15, Paul Hurry. He gets maximum 10 points. 16, Bob Dolman, 4 points. 17, Neville Tatum, 5. 18, Mick Groen, 6. No points to 110, Steve Dorr. 3 points to 115, Martin Sturgeon, 3 points. No points, 150. 152, Matt Reed, 8 points. The winning time was 125.21. 125.21. Race 26, no score there to number 20, David Howell. 24, Dean Barker, 10 points for the win. 25, Martin Williams on 5. 29, Paul Knott on 8. Right the way down the bottom then you go to Mark Taylor and Neil Taylor. No score for either of those, 170, 173. 215, Steve Braidford, 6 points. 611, 4 points, 129.81. 129.81. So, whilst all the points get worked out for who goes in which final, quick change of positions there for the of problems for James Rogers there by the look of it as they pull off straight away, but Paul Bickley and Paul Silvera have got away and they look to be very much in command as they go down the back straight leading into this second turn. Oh, it is tall. Paul Bickley has the lead. Reserve, in fact, number 99 Trevor Colvin and Mick Day. Number 5, Matt Fumarola and Andy Wilson, trying to get that second place from them. Richard Moore and Rob Winspear having to watch what's going on in front of them. So only 4 competitors left from the original lineup of 6. Fumarola has now got through into that second place. Rick Colvin and Mick Day in third, but not giving up by any chance that as they go down the back straight. Don't want to let Matt Fumarola get away from him, but Paul Bickley really has piled it on in this one. He's got away from Matt Fumarola in second. One more lap to go to get maximum points from his last ride. Great Paul Bickley was on 12 points coming into this last ride, so this could be confirmation that we're going to be seeing him in the final. Oh, Rick Colvin's not giving up at all on that second. He comes through again as Matt Fumarola will be falling asleep going down that back straight. He's now trying to come back at him, but as they come across the line, Rick Colvin's done enough. So the result of race 27 in your programme, but then I quickly ask for Neal Cuff to make his way to the race control in the pits. That's Neal Cuff to the caravan in the pits. The result of race 27 in your 1000cc Sidecar score chart. No points for number 1, number 2 and number 4. No score at all. Number 5, Matt Fumarola and Andy Wilson get 4 points. Number 6, Richard Moore and Rob Winspear get 3 points. Number 8, Paul Bickley and Paul Silvera, maximum 7 points. Right the way down the bottom of the page, number 99, Trevor Colvin and McDay get 5 points. The winning time was 1:34.86, 1:34.86. So as we look to race 28 in your programme, an interesting one it promises to be, because a lot of the top point scorers are all against each other in this one. We've got Dave Steer on 8 points, he's in grid 1. Grid 2, Ivor Matthews and Tony Myles on 12 points. Neal Owen and Dylan Davis on 4 points. John Halsey and Jason Glennie on 12 points. Roger Wynne and Richard Marston are in gate 5, and in gate 6 we've got Myles Simmons and Dave Hogan on 7 points. So really, the eyes from my point of view will be on Myles Simmons particularly. He needs to get a good ride here. Very good start. Myles Simmons is trying to cut across from the outside to the inside before he even gets into the first bend. John Halsey said he'd work his way through and ended up in 3rd place, looking for second as he goes down the back straight. He gets up into 2nd place in front of Myles Simmons. But while that battle's going on, we've got Ivor Matthews and Tony Myles getting away. So they're looking for a race victory in their last ride this afternoon. Myles Simmons has now got to try and get back at John Halsey if he wants to get that 2nd place. Well, they sort themselves out as they go down the back straight. And now John Halsey starts to close on Ivor Matthews. Now they'll be watching to see what line each other take as they come round that bottom turn. And Halsey's gone very wide, he's very quick on the outside, he'll have to stay out. Has he got room to come inside? He has! A tremendous ride from John Halsey. I thought he'd been forced to go wide. I thought there was no way he could get back underneath. But somehow he managed to do it. I can only say that Ivor must have kept the speed on going into the bend. That forced him to go a little bit wide in the middle of the bend, and John Halsey's got through. But he really is absolutely motoring now, and he was on that top bend. Ivor Matthews and Tony Myles can do nothing about it. And Myles Simmons must be wondering what he's got to do to try and stay with those two in front of him. But John Halsey and Jason Glennie have got away, and indeed come round comfortably off that bottom turn. They'll see the checkered flag this time. They indeed make it their 2nd win, and confirmation that they'll be in the A final. Number 11, Roger Wynne and Richard Masterton, 2 points. Number 13, John Halsey and Jason Glennie, maximum 7 points. Number 14, Neal Owen and Dylan Davis, 1 point. Number 15, Ivor Matthews and Tony Myles, 2nd place, 5 points. Number 17, Dave Steer and Simon Beanie, 3 points. The time, 1:33.70, that equates to 57.28. So we transfer those points over. I can tell you that it's all getting very, very tight for qualification into the A Sidecar final. Race 29 as Gary Jackson Gary Jackson's made the better of the start. Rob Wilson is still there with him, but it's Peter Lloyd that's got up into 2nd place. Gary Jackson has got away with Carl Pugh down the back straight. Rob Wilson comes through in front of Peter Lloyd as they go down the back straight, and he's now going after Gary Jackson. They start to sort it out in this bottom turn. It is in fourth place at the moment. And looking to try and get that third. Rob Wilson going after Gary Jackson. He stayed out wide, he stayed fast, he goes down the back straight, Gary Jackson responds. Rob Wilson is quicker into the bottom turn, he's got to stay wide. Gary Jackson could get back at him, but Rob Wilson has stayed wide and quick and fast. And as he comes up past me, he's just... Gary Jackson has to slot in second place. Stephen Lloyd have moved into third spot, and they've now got some open racetrack in front of them to try and catch Gary Jackson. All sorts of problems for Gary and Craig Parmenter are coming together with Peter Lloyd on that top bend. Craig, I'm pleased to say, is quickly up on his feet, and there will be a last lap flag in the finishing marshal's hand. So Rob Wilson crosses the line, but the red flag was past the last lap flag. We'll wait to see what sort of decision is made. Technically the last of the qualifying rides this afternoon, and this is race 30 in your programme, but of course we have to have the rerun of race 29, and after that we'll be going into the big finals. Well, poor Whitelam not very happy with what's happening here, so where should he be? He should be on gate 5. Number 148 Rob and Chris Winterburn are on gate 4. So everybody is pushed over a little bit and not left enough room for poor Whitelam. I love it. The problem started right from gate 1. Lewis Cook and Robert Hargreave were over in gate 2. Everybody else therefore was pushed over again. And they've reshuffled them. And when Ian Lee Amos gets into gate 3, Rob Winterburn will be able to get into gate 4. Into the first turn, but he's got John Hiscock right there with him. He wins the battle for that first place coming out of that first turn, but John Hiscock is not out of contention. Ian Lee Amos trying to get through into that third place, but Duncan Tolhurst wants it as well. He gets himself into third, and as they come round off that bottom turn, it is Paul Whitelam and Kevin. And Simon Wall are still there in second place. But Duncan Tolhurst has tried the outside line. It's a long way round, and he looks to have got a wheel in front. John Hiscock not giving an inch though, and Duncan Tolhurst has to force his way into that second place. It means he's high and wide on that bottom turn, but he now cuts back underneath and chases on. Lewis Cook is up in fourth place, but he's under pressure from Ian Lee Amos at the moment. And they're both in fact closing on John Hiscock. But can Duncan Tolhurst catch Paul Whitelam? Paul Whitelam and Kevin Jones looking very comfortable at the moment. They want to get maximum points from this one. They know that'll guarantee them a place in the final. Racing for the fourth place as Ian Lee Amos is again looking for gaps on the inside of Lewis Cook. And both of them forcing each other on to get closer and closer to John Hiscock. Don't think the front two positions are going to change. Duncan Tolhurst sitting in second, but all the action is really for that fourth place. Duncan Tolhurst in second, John Hiscock in third, and Ian Lee Amos has got through into that fourth place. Lewis Cook down in fifth. 30 in your programme. You start with number 74, Duncan, Tolhurst and Nicky Owen. They were in second place, so get 5 points. Number 92, Paul Whitelam and Kevin Jones. They had maximum first place, 7 points. Number 148, Rob and Chris Winterburn, 1 point. Number 183, Ian Lee Amos and Paul Phillips, 3 points. Number 184, John Hiscock and Simon Wall, 4 points. And number 748, Lewis Cook and Robert Hargrave, 2 points. 131.53, 58.63 that equates to. So that is effectively the last of the qualifiers, except to say that we've got race 29 coming out again, and the point situation is getting very interesting indeed in all competitions. Into that first turn. He slowed as he went into the first turn. I think that took Rob Wilson offline, but Rob Wilson has now got Steph and Carl Blythe going around the outside of them. So Steph and Carl Blythe go very, very wide on that bottom turn. Rob Wilson has noticed that. He will try and get up the inside. So he can now chase down on Gary Jackson, as we saw him do before the race was stopped. But as they go round that top turn, it is Rob Wilson and all the eyes are on, I'm sure, because he's chasing after Gary Jackson. Now what can they do in terms of points? Gary Jackson was on 8 as he came into this one. Rob Wilson was only on 7. So, do with a 2-point advantage. As he looks to go the long way round, he's going all the way around the outside. He's getting closer and closer to Gary Jackson. And Gary Jackson and Carl Pugh respond. Again, Rob Wilson goes in hard and fast into the bottom turn. He's out wide. He keeps the power on, he keeps the speed on. It leaves him wide coming up. He's now got the edge. Has he got the line? He has got the line. He goes into the pit bend ahead of Gary Jackson in second. And Rob Wilson will be knowing that this 7 points will do a lot for him. I can't even promise you to say it's getting him into the A final, but it's going to be tight. As he goes towards the checkered flag, Rob Wilson it is that makes the maximum. Gary Jackson in second. Stephen Carl Blythe in third, and Matthew Tyrrell and Sean Yates in fourth. Number 18, Gary Parmenter and Craig Parmenter, unfortunately having to pull out, no points. Number 23, Gary Jackson and Carl Pugh, second place, 5 points. 24, Rob Wilson and Ian Well, a win there, so maximum 7 points. 30, Stephen and Carl Blythe, 4 points. 62, no restart for Peter Lloyd and Terry Madley, no points. 69, Matt Tyrrell and Sean Yates, 3 points. The winning time, 131.08. 131.08, 58.93. Really enjoy their grass track. And I'm sure they wouldn't really have wanted this situation. But once they knew that they were in this position, it's just a case of knuckling down, getting on with it. I'm sure they both know how important it is. And there certainly will be no favours. So the tapes are brought down in preparation. Right on top of Mitch's bike, unfortunately. So that quickly gets sorted out. Both of them electing, interestingly enough, to have one of the outside gates. So the starter brings them up to the tapes. This for automatic position is the 18th. Knott has made the best of the starts, but Mitch Godden's gone for a very tight line on the inside to get into that first turn. Paul Knott goes very, very wide and high, and he keeps the power on, drives down the back straight. Mitch Godden now has got to do the work to try and catch him. As he slows into the pit bend, Mitch Godden catches up slightly. Now he chases after him coming up this finishing straight. Head down, looking very, very determined. Wants to get into that A final automatically. Knows there's some very good riders in the B final. Would much rather get himself directly into that A. Mitch Godden still with the work to do. He certainly hasn't given up though. He closes up again as he comes into that pit turn. Oh, the two of them really focused. Has got to speed up this afternoon as this track has dried out. Oh, Mitch Godden finding grip he didn't really want to find there. Forces him out wide, but that might give him a longer run into this bottom turn. He certainly looks quicker on the entrance to the pit turn. Paul Knott at the moment, no mistakes at all. He's certainly looking at getting that automatic place. One more left to go. As Mitch Godden again follows them into this pit turn. That seems to have been the better corner for Paul Knott. He was very quick round there first time and he got the advantage and he's maintained it. This is where Mitch Godden looks a lot better though. He comes into that bottom turn much quicker. He's gone for the inside line. Paul Knott has gone wide. It's going to be close to the line. But Paul Knott takes it. So we can now update the programmes by putting Mitch Godden into the B final, which will be straight after the 750 sidecars, and Paul Knott, number 29, will go into the 500cc A final. They started the day with a really disastrous first leg ride. They had problems, if you remember back to the beginning of the day, problems in the barn record. We didn't see them in their first ride. They then managed to get a third and a second, which has put them into this B final. Number 6, Alphonse Fugel and Franz Huber. First time I've seen them, and I do believe it's the first time they've been here to the Tunbridge circuit. Number 11, a fascinating afternoon for Marco Hunsrucker and Mario Seabird. He has been here before, but Marco was passenger to and was indeed very successful here on 2 previous visits. He now comes here as a driver in his own right, passengered by Mario Seabird. Number 5 is Rick Dyfus and Francis Bergraff. Now again, I think it is their first time that they've been here, and they go in this B final. Number 9 is Raymond de Roy and Richard de Bolhers, also of course from the Netherlands. And the last of the lineup is Andy Kerrison and Laura Kerrison. First to get choice on the gate. I remember that during the runoff, both Mitch and Paul elected to start from the outside of the gate. Raymond de Roy. Then got number 8, Andy Kerrison. Number 6 is Alphonse Fugel. Number 7, Brian Palmer. Right on the outside, number 5, Rick Diffuse. I think has just squeezed through. He gets a wheel in front as one of the outfits goes very, very wide and gets close to the boards. But Brian Palmer and Danny Hogg it is that are setting the pace. Remember that the prize on this one is that they go again in the A final, and who knows what could happen. Brian Palmer and Richard Bolliers. but there's a bit of a gap opening up already. Remember, this is 6 laps that they've got to keep the machines going for. Down the back straight, Danny looks over his shoulder, realises that they've got a little bit of a margin. They'll keep pressing on in these early heat, certainly early laps, to try and get the advantage. They may see a bit of easing up. From about 4th place on that first lap up into 2nd place, and they are rapidly closing the gap down. So Alphonse Vogel and Franz Hilberger know that there is a place on the A final rostrum, possibly if they can. I'm sure that Brian Palmer knows exactly what he's going to do. Keep that machinery buzzing. He won't want to make any errors at all. Danny again has a quick look over his shoulder, knows that he's got competition of a different coloured set of leathers than he had earlier on. He'll keep an eye on what's going on. He'll let Brian know if they're getting working hard again as they go into that top bend. Brian Palmer has perhaps done enough. We've got Andy Kerrison and Laura Kerrison unfortunately have pulled out on the far side. Brian Palmer, and in fact Danny looks very comfortable indeed. He looks very casual as he went past us. Arm across the knee. This means another ride for them this afternoon. That'll always please them. They go. It's the checkered flag this time, the completion of the first of the 6 lap finals. And this means a place in the A final as they come across the line. Brian Palmer and Danny finishing 2nd in the B final and missing out on that chance of a shot at the A final. Alphonse Vogel and Franz Hilberger. The Battle of Britain B final, the winner and an automatic place in the A final, number 7, Brian Palmer and Danny Hogg. In 2nd place, number 6, Alphonse Vogel and Franz Huber. In 3rd place, number 9, Raymond de Roy and Richard Bolhus. In 4th place, number 5, Rick Dreyfus and Francois Berggraf. In 5th place, number 11, Marco Hundrucker and Mario Siebert. The winning time, 2:24.88, 2:24.88. The speed, 55.56, 55.56. So we now look to the B final. Again, the prize on a win. Elevation into the A final. One rider that I'm sure a lot of you will be thinking certainly deserves that chance. He's been out for 4 laps already. He lines up in one of these outside gates. We've got Dean Barker closest to me, Mitch next to him. We've got from the Netherlands, number 18, Mick Grol. I can see in there 16 for Dolman. I can see number 25, Martin Williams. So, right the best. Mick Grol has gone well, and it is Mick Grol that's got to the front as they go into the first turn. Mitch Godden is right there with them as well as they go round that first bend. They all sort themselves out as they come out of the bend, but it is Mick Grol that's got away. Mitch Godden, I can see fighting back again. He's in 3rd place at the moment, but Mick Grol is setting the pace. Martin Williams is in 3rd place, Mitch Godden in 4th. Those 4 really getting away from the rest of the field. A bit of a gap developing, but it is Mick Grol that's fighting to get a place in that A final. Drives hard round that pit bend, and Mick Grol it is that's setting a cracking pace. But the gap is beginning to open, and Mick Grol knows exactly what he's got to do. He has been to this circuit before. I'm sure that they've all been struggling with the changes in the surface this afternoon. I think we've seen different animals last season this afternoon. This is a tremendous ride from Mick Grol to make sure of a place in the final. Now, Dean Barker still there in 2nd place. Martin Williams still there in 3rd. Oh, Mitch Godden looks as if he wants that 3rd place as he goes into that pit bend. But still, Mitch Godden still is not giving up. Into that third place he goes, looking to chase down on Dean Barker. Lines the line up, going down the back straight. He's closing right up on Dean Barker. Oh, Mitch is going for second. Dean Barker doesn't realise that he now realises he's there and he's trying to go to the outside. So Mitch has got away. There's been some great fighting going on, particularly from Mitch Godden to get himself perhaps into second place in this final as he closes right up on Dean Barker and goes. There is just one more lap to go, and indeed as they come round, the checkered flag goes to Mick Godden. Mitch Godden has done brilliantly to get up into second. Dean Barker in third, Marty Williams in fourth, Darren Rolph in fifth. Solo, Battle of Britain 2003 B final, won by number 18, Mick Godden. In second place, number 9, Mitch Godden. In third place, number 24, Dean Barker. In fourth place, number 25, Martin Williams. Fifth place, number 41, Darren Rolph. Sixth place, number 58, Mark Chilman. Seventh place, number 1, Serge Schubach. In eighth place, number 16, Bob Dolman. The winning time was 2:09.95, 2:09.95, an average speed of 61.94. 2:09.95, 61.94. So we now move to the 1000cc sidecars. Coming to the line will be number 183 with first choice of gate. That, of course, is Ian Lee Amos and Paul Phillips. Number 24, Rob Wilson and Ian Whale. They must be thinking they've got to do it the hard way to get into the late final. 23, Gary Jackson and Carl Pugh. Number 9, Miles Simmons and Dave Hogan. 30, Stephen Blythe and Carl Blythe. And 17, Dave Steer and Simon Beanie. Ian Lee Amos has had a race victory earlier on this afternoon. We know that Rob Wilson had a race victory in his last ride. Number 17, Dave Steer had a victory first race out this afternoon. Miles Simmons, number 9, well, he's had a second, a third and a fifth. So he's got some work to do. At the moment we're missing Gary Jackson to come to the line. Not sure if there are perhaps problems for Gary Jackson. Ian Lee Amos has had a tremendous start on the inside. Rob Wilson tries to get around the outside of him and gets a nose in front as he comes out of that first turn. It's Rob Wilson that piles it on going down the back straight and breaks away from Ian Lee Amos in second. Dave Steer at the moment having to watch what's going on in front of him, but he's on the outside of Well, I think there's possibly going to be the battling going on for second, third and fourth, but Rob Wilson looks very, very determined to make sure he's going to get a shot at that A final. He's desperately trying to pull away. He's got an excellent line round both bends. He knows he's now got the freedom of the race circuit. Ian Lee Amos still there in second and fourth. The battle now seems to develop for that third place as Steph and Carl Blythe are getting closer all the time to Dave Steer. But if we talk about doing it the hard way, when we first talked about this possibility of the winner of the B, I think I said some years ago, wouldn't it be fascinating if somebody has a few problems during the day, gets into the B, wins the B, and then turns around and wins the A as well. We've not seen it yet, but who knows? In one of these this afternoon, there's a lot of hard work to get through with 6 laps in the B, another 6 laps in the A. Rob Wilson certainly does look very, very determined at the moment. Dave Steer, in fact, has pulled off on the far side, so it does elevate Stephen Carl Blythe up into third place. It's last lap flag for Rob Wilson as he comes into us this time. You can hear that motor as it comes past you. He really has got that motor absolutely singing. And Myles Simmons goes through. It is Rob looking over his shoulder as he comes off that last bend and indeed takes the checker flag. Rob Wilson and Ivor know that they've got a place in the A final. Number 24, Rob Wilson and Ian Whale. In second place, number 183, that's Ian Amos and Paul Phillips. In third place, number 30, Stefan Clive. And in fourth place, number 9, Myles Simmons and Dave Hogan. No other finishers there, the winning time 2:15.51, 2:15.51, 59.40 B. This, the first of the A finals, the 750cc sidecar. Will it be one of the Goodwins? Can somebody else at Pierce Wood? Can Keith Drury do it? All the talk this morning was about this different CC. Really good start. Keith Drury's problem. We got all sorts of problems as the outfits go over going into that first turn. Immediately a red flag is up. Winner of the B final gets a chance to go again in this A final. We've got all 8 competitors on the line. Mick right on the inside gate. Paul Hurry coming out in what is effectively gate 7. No gate 6. Trevor going to take a gate 8. Cooper gate 7. So this is about 500cc. Oh, Mick has lifted the machine in the air. He's got it back under control now. Andrew Appleton is the rider that's getting up into second, and Matt Reid is there as well. They're chasing after Paul Hurry, but Paul Hurry indicating straight away that he's going to take some catching. He flies round that bottom turn and comes up past us for the second time. Matt Reid is still there in third place. Mick is the rider in fourth at the moment. Those three really together. Although Andrew Appleton perhaps is making the better of it, but Paul Hurry is all the time getting away from the other competitors. Certainly is looking very, very determined. Fights with machinery in that top bend. Down the back straight he goes. Well, we know that Paul is going from strength to strength in his world title rounds. He is in the long track this year. Pressure from Mick. Very nearly a nasty moment in that bottom turn, but Mick has now got himself up into third as Matt Reid went wide on that bottom bend. Well, there's a bit of a gap now between first and second. Paul Hurry looking very, very much in command. Second. Certainly a rider that I'm sure you'll of Andrew Appleton. Although just as I say that, you can see the youngster Matt Reid got very, very close to him. So there goes the last lap flag. This is the Battle of Britain 2003. He made this one here. Into the bottom bend he goes. He'll get the wheels in line as quick as he can. He pulls the power going up the back straight. Andrew Appleton in second. And to Matt Reid. Matt Reed pulls out on the far side. He hasn't completed race distance, but the winner is Hurry. And Andrew Appleton has got there in second place. Mick from the Netherlands got there in third. Very big disappointment for Matt Reed as he coasts to the finishing line. And he holds off the machine and will just push it to the line to get the result. So, disappointment for Matt Reed as he has to push the machinery back to the pits. Let's give it then the official result of the Battle of Britain for 2003, a win for number 15, Paul Hurry. In second place, number 4, Andrew Appleton. In third place, number 18, that's Mick Grun. In fourth place, number 2, Trevor Banks. Fifth place, number 11, Paul Cooper. Sixth place, number 29, Paul Knott. Seventh place, number 6, Jeremy Doncaster. Eighth place, number 152, Matt Reed. The winning time was 2:08.92, an average speed of 62.43. So 62.43. Well, although they were all equal, the qualifiers to the first three places are number 8, Paul Bickley, and Paul Silvera. He indeed has chosen, what is that, probably a game 4. Number 92, Paul Whitelam and Kevin Jones. They're going to go just on the inside for Paul Bickley. Looking then for John Halsey and Jason Glennie, but it's Ivor Matthews that comes out next. Duncan, Tolhurst and Nicky Owen. As John Halsey comes out to what is effectively gate 5. He's got Ivor Matthews on the outside of him. Last to come in line, in fact, is Duncan. Starter indicated all of them that they should now be in line. So this is the 1000cc cycle Paul Bickley absolutely flew out of the gate, and he's got the lead as he goes into that first turn. They're all ganging up behind him though. He's got John Halsey and Jason Glennie right on his back wheel. Duncan Tolhurst is trying to come through as well. He's gone up into third in front of Paul Whitelam. Duncan Tolhurst gets very, very close to John Halsey, looking for a way through. John Halsey looks to go around the outside of Paul Whitelam. Looking for a way through on the inside, and he's found one. Duncan Tolhurst and Nicky Owen go through on the inside. Paul Bickley's still there in second. John Halsey's still there in third. And John Halsey's looking for a way through on the inside of Paul Bickley. Up into second place. He'll want to not let Duncan Tolhurst get away from him. He wants to get through in that second as quick as he can. And he's closed right up on Duncan Tolhurst already. He's going to come in through now as well as he goes up close to the back wheel of John Halsey, leaving no room at all for Paul Bickley. And it's all changed in that top corner. Or is it? Well, Paul Bickley's gone very, very wide on the outside of the circuit. He crosses back across, and I think he might have connected with the boards on the far side. So it's all changed because we've now got Paul Whitelam up in second place. Look at Rob Wilson coming through as well. Rob Wilson has got up into third place. Remember, he won the B final. He's done the hard work. He knows this circuit. Down the back straight they go. Rob Wilson up in third place. Paul Whitelam is beginning to fight on the back wheel of Duncan Tolhurst now, as it's again not all over because they've still got 2 laps to go. And Nicky Owen still there. Closing all the time is Paul Whitelam in second place. Ivor Matthews is starting to move through as well now. He's up into fourth place. Across the far side we look again. As indeed Rob Wilson has closed right up on Paul Whitelam. It's all coming together again in this bottom turn. Duncan Tolhurst is riding a fabulous ride. Look at Paul Whitelam. He's determined to get a big win under his belt sooner rather than later. He's got close to Duncan Tolhurst. He's looking for a way through. Rob Wilson knows what he's doing, and Rob Wilson goes round the outside. Rob Wilson is now attacking all the way around the outside. He's looking to have a go at Duncan Tolhurst as well. Into that bottom bend goes Rob Wilson. It's a long way round. It's hard work. He's got a long way to go. And Duncan takes it. Paul Whitelam in second, and Rob Wilson in third. John Halsey in fourth. Ivor Matthews in fifth. What an absolutely tremendous sidecar final. You didn't know whether Duncan was going to be able to hang on to it. The early leader, Paul Bickley, unfortunately hitting problems on the far side. An absolutely tremendous sidecar final. It looked for a minute there as if Rob Wilson was going to steal the show. Sure, the porpoise of the sport would always say that it's all the races that are important to make a meeting. I don't disagree with that. But if you experience one race like that, then indeed you can say, well, that's what it's all about. This is what the sport of 1000cc sidecar racing is all about. And now can you believe me when I say that when we come back here on the 20th of July, these boys will be able to compete with the Australians this year. Tremendous ride from Duncan Tolhurst and Nicky Owen. Paul Whitelam and Kevin Jones. And certainly John Halsey and Jason Glen put up a fight. What a tremendous ride from the ever-popular Rob Wilson. Great to see that partnership together for this season. Rob Wilson and Ian Well. Right, 1000cc sidecar, Battle of Britain 2003. It was won by number 74, Duncan Tolhurst and Nicky Owen. In second place, number 92, that's Paul Whitelam and Kevin Jones. In third place, number 24, Rob Wilson and Ian Well. Fourth place, number 13, John Halsey, Jason Glen. Fifth place, number 15, Ivor Matthews and Tony Myles. Sixth place, number 8, Paul Bickley, Paul Silvera. The winning time was 2:18.07, 2:18.07. The speed, 58.3. The 2003 Battle of Britain International 750cc sidecars. Right on the inside, number 10, Keith Drury. Next to him, Lester Goodwin. Next to him, Malcolm Goodwin. We've then got number 3, should I say number 23, Tony Starke. Number 7, Brian Parmenter, and number 12, Clive Willis. Well, we've just seen an absolutely fantastic 1000cc sidecar final. What's going to happen in the 750? Parker, of course, making sure that he doesn't creep too much. He's got no tape in front of him this time. He's already got very close and got up into 5th place. So keep your eyes on Keith Drury, because he was putting in some very quick times earlier on this afternoon, as indeed the race is starting to get sorted out. The early lead then with number 1, Malcolm Goodwin, as he goes round that top bend, but it's all getting very tight in 2nd, 3rd and 4th. As Malcolm Goodwin and Gary Goodwin and Andrew Stevens. So that's the front 3 at the moment, as Malcolm Goodwin and Gary Rockall have got away. They've got Brian Palmer in 2nd place, who's desperately trying to make sure that gap doesn't get too big. Remember, it is 6 big laps that they've got to complete. Malcolm Goodwin, a very, very tight line for Malcolm Goodwin. Let's see if Lester Goodwin looking to close on Brian Palmer as they go into that bottom turn. I'm still watching to see if Keith Drury can get himself elevated up through the field. He's back in 5th place at the moment, looking for 4th. So the front 3 at the moment still with Malcolm Goodwin and Drury. Remember, has done it really the hard way. They've run their way through in the B final and got this place in the A. They're indeed out there with a very, very strong challenge before the race was stopped. And if we look to see the gaps closing a little bit, Malcolm Goodwin and Gary Tony Starke and Andrew Stevens are out there after the coming together here in this bottom bend. Well, Brian Palmer looks to be closing Malcolm Goodwin down. There is one more lap to go. Malcolm Goodwin has certainly been taking it cautiously. He's holding a very tight line, but Brian Palmer, I think, is as he goes into that bottom bend. Lester Goodwin is trying to stay with him. Brian Palmer right on that bottom bend. Malcolm Goodwin must know he's there now. He must know he's got a challenge on. As he goes into that last bend, Brian Palmer's going to go for it. Brian Palmer goes round the outside. Malcolm Goodwin must have wondered where he'd come from. He keeps the power on. Malcolm Goodwin has to drive to the line. Brian Palmer gets second. And Lester Goodwin in third. So that was the 750 sidecar Battle of Britain, a final. We had to do a restart. And indeed, a very, very determined ride. An excellent start from Malcolm Goodwin. He hung on to it all the way through the 6 laps. Fit number 1, Malcolm Goodwin and Gary Rockall. In second place, number 7, Brian Palmer and Danny Hogg. In third place, number 3, that's Lester Goodwin and Andrew Stevens. In fourth place, number 12, Clive Willis and Steve Ashby. In fifth place, number 10, Keith Drury and Reinhard Schubach. Sixth place, number 23, Tony Starke and Darren Wood. The winning time was 2:23.99, 55.90. And I'm very pleased to welcome up on the stage, picking up third place this afternoon. Normally talk about how many British Championships he's won, but we'll start this afternoon with third place, Battle of Britain 2003, Lester Goodwin and Andrew Stevens. Well done indeed, guys. Lester, I will have a quick word because we can see that Andrew's limping, and did I just hear that it's just bruises?
Yeah, that's all, just bruises.
So a few weeks, rest in bed, and then back out racing in about a month's time.
No, we leave Wednesday for Germany, so you won't be going again.
Absolutely, and on that other note, I just heard John ask you, Lester, no serious damage to the outfit?
No, not as we know, but we'll have to get it home, get it all checked out properly, and hopefully, like Andrew said, it's okay for Wednesday.
And Wednesday, tell me a little bit more about Wednesday.
Long journey. We're at Irkside on Thursday, so we've got to leave Wednesday to get there, so we've got to go to Holland first now to pick up an engine, so it's early Wednesday now.
Well done indeed. Sorry to say it's only third place. There's a tough competition out there this afternoon. Lester Goodwin, Andrew Stevens. Well, I think whenever I call this pair up on stage, I just cannot help a little smile, because how many years are they going to keep going? They made it the hardest possible route to the final today, not perform in the early heats, come out and get a few more points in the latter ones, then get put into the B final, win that, race in the A final and finish up second. Looked at even at one time as if they were going to do the win. They're up here again, of course it is Brian Palmer and Danny Hogg. Well, I've got to have a word, Raz, because, I mean, you did make hard work of that this afternoon.
Yeah, it was bloody hard work out there, I tell you.
No, you meant to sort of say, well, it was, obviously things went wrong in the barn record.
Yeah, we had a misfire, tried to put it right, couldn't get it right, so put the 500 in, and that turned out to be faster than the bigger engine.
So there you go. You see, if somebody come and told me that earlier on, I could have got all technical about that and got everybody totally confused.
Well, confused myself. Regarding how many more years I'm carrying on, this is my final year. I made up my mind last year, and I'd like to, while I'm in a position to do it, publicly announce it that Team Palmer, Hogg and RB Racing will be stepping down at the end of this season. I want to make a point of thanking all the people that have helped me throughout the years, especially Roy, because he's come to my rescue so many times, and without that we wouldn't be here today, not at this level anyway. So cheers mate, you're a diamond.
Well done indeed. I think you'll appreciate everybody saying that we're disappointed to hear news like that, but Raz, you have provided some fantastic entertainment over the years, and let's hope you pick up a few more cups before the end of this season. And no, we'll never get a haircut. Right, we've got third, we've got second, just one more place to be filled. That, of course, is the place that they all wanted at 9 o'clock this morning. And this afternoon, I think you'll agree, they've ridden brilliantly. In the final, they made it theirs. From start to finish, the winners of the 750 Sidecar event, Battle of Britain 2003 are Malcolm Goodwin and Gary Rocco. This is where he has to get the pictures for the press. Is that it? Now comes the easy bit, Malcolm. I just want a few words. The bit that everybody seems to love. But, I mean, a hard circuit, changing conditions. Did you think you were going to do it earlier on this afternoon?
No. No, it was very, very hard. I know the club and the team have worked very, very hard, but it couldn't be out. There was, you know, a heavy rain downpour last night, and they done the best they could, but did make it hard going. And no, I didn't think we'd do it. The idea was out the gate, go out for leather as long as I could and hold on. I just want whatever pills Razzie's on.
You mean that there's a few more years left in you yet then?
We'll play it by ear, see how it goes.
Well, once you find out what pills he's taking, I'll expect at least another 24 to catch up with him. Well done indeed though, and of course you're still competing in Europe, still with all the big events over there.
Yeah, we're off Wednesday morning to Ludenhausen in Germany, about 5 or 6 hour run, so it's home tonight, clean the bike, ready for Wednesday, and away we go again.
Well, as I've just said to Lester over there, the very best of luck for Germany during the week. Well done indeed again today. The winners of the Battle of Britain for 2003, Malcolm Goodwin and Gary Rocco. So as we get the final picture of all three of them, plenty of nice silverware as well. Well done indeed then guys, if I can ask you to step down, because the winners of the 750cc sidecar, Lester Goodwin, Andrew Stevens, Brian Palmer, Danny Hogg, Malcolm Goodwin and Gary Rocco. Right, we'll move on to the 500cc solo. So if we can decide, yep, that's the order in which they're on the desk. Well, it's great to hear that this guy's back here again. I know he speaks highly of this circuit. I know he spreads all the good news around Holland. I'm very pleased to say that after a very hard-fought day, calling up in third place in the Battle of Britain solo competition, from Holland, Mick Glen. Well, Mike, I know I'm going to take a chance here, but I'm going to ask you that you've been back here a number of times now. Are you still enjoying coming to this circuit?
Yeah, it's always good. Even a day like today when it's raining, you always can ride here. So you never come for nothing. It's always good, yeah.
And not too far to travel, really.
For me, it's not too far.
So that means that we are going to see you back here again for these big meetings.
Of course.
Well done indeed this afternoon. In third place, Mick Glen. Very pleased indeed to call up a rider that seems to be getting better and better. And when we talk about the talent that's coming through in our sport, this is one name that always gets bandied around. A fantastic ride again this afternoon from Andrew Appleton. Well, I'll have to have a few words, Andrew, because I know things seem to be going very well at the moment. You must have enjoyed it out there this afternoon.
Yeah, it was very tough conditions today, but unfortunately the rain held off, and we got through to the final, so it was a very good day for me.
And I think really what I've got to ask somebody now is really how much that track did change. I heard in the pits this morning it was all very grippy, it was digging out, but it looks quite good at the end of the day.
Yeah, it was very hard to ride at the start of the meeting, and after sort of practice it was very deep, but it sort of flattened off, and they've done a great job with the tractors and stuff to get it flatten that, but it started to rain, and it didn't rain. I don't want it to rain or not rain, but luckily it stopped raining, and the track finished off quite slick, but very bumpy, but everyone was meant to ride it.
Absolutely. Well done indeed this afternoon, Andrew. Second place in the solo competition, Andrew Appleton. So it means that, again, I have just got one more place to bring up here, and that, of course, is the winner of the 2003 Battle of Britain. I think I can only say that we know this guy's capable of winning. When he starts his campaign in the morning, you think, yep, it's clicked. Everybody's going to have a job to catch him. And they certainly did this afternoon. An outright victory for, of course, our very own Paul Harry! That's it. Got to get them organised for the photos. Well, I've got to say first of all, Paul, well done for winning. But this morning, when I spoke to you, you was all sort of, well, it's a bit iffy, it's a bit grippy and all this business.
Yeah, I had a bit of a get-off Thursday at Ipswich and fractured a couple of knuckles, so I was a bit dubious whether I was going to ride or not. I pulled out last night at Beachboard, and today was just to sort of see how I felt, really. I've got a meeting tomorrow, and I was just going to use it as a tester. If I had to pull out, then it would have meant sort of a bad day. But no, I'd sort of stuck in there and got it screwed on, and away we went.
Well, indeed, away you went, and I've got to say that whenever you do the winning, there is a lot of crowd out there that are very, very pleased. You've got good support, not just in this part of the country. And I'm going to ask if Di could join me at the moment, because we presented the Grasstrack Awards up at North Parks the other week. Now, you weren't able to be there yourself, but I don't know whether you were aware that this is a postal vote. The information here somewhere. Right, and it says here the award is presented, or of several presented each year by Grasstrack, is taken on votes cast by the supporters on the website. Voting forms in the Speedway Star and in the box at Grasstrack stalls. The trophies were presented at the Bunks Bonanza. However, the winner, the solo rider of the year, was unable to be there due to Speedway commitments. He's well known to you all in both Grasstrack and Speedway. He makes a habit of either winning this trophy or being runner-up. A local lad, it says here, quite local to where, I don't know, but a very worthy winner. So that was Solo Rider of the Year 2002, of course, Paul Harry. That's it, we've got to get all the pictures done. I mean, just quickly while they're doing the photographs, to remind you all, if you didn't make it to the North Parks, the most improved youth rider was Scott Campus. Youth of the Year, Jack Hargreaves. Most improved solo, Richard Hall. Most improved sidecar, Matt from Rowe, Andy Wilson. Sidecar of the Year, Leicester Goodwin, Andrew Stevens. And a great big thank you to everybody who took the trouble to vote. Have then the 1000cc sidecars to get up here, and I talked about really Raz doing a lot of hard work in the 750 sidecars. Well, this guy did a lot of hard work, and at one time it looked as if he was going to win the whole thing. Ended up in third, a great ride from Rob Wilson and Ian Whale. Well, I will have a quick word, Rob, because, I mean, you did make hard work of that today, but it seemed to be a very indifferent day.
Yeah, I mean, we really did struggle at the start of the day, and as the day went on, we sorted the bike out. Yeah, it went good, really, to be honest with you.
It went good. I think the crowd were on their toes at the end of that final. You could most certainly have got all the way around them both and ended up with the win.
Yeah, I think it would have been nice to do that, but my arms just went on the last corner, to be fair, and I didn't really want to do anything that was going to cause, grief to all of us. So I was well pleased, and obviously pleased with Ian's just starting with me. So good day in the end.
A good day, and of course we come back here on the 20th of July.
Yeah, that's going to be different again. So hopefully I think Duncan done extremely well today on his speedway bike. So hopefully we ain't going to see the Aussies at the front all the time.
Well, that's what we all want. Well done indeed. Third place to Rob Wilson and Ian Whale. And I would say that I'm very, very pleased to see up here winning second place this afternoon. They also possibly had a chance of taking the win. It's great to see these guys really now mixing it with the best of the best. In second place this afternoon, Paul Whitelam and Kevin Jones. Well, indeed, I think I'm not embarrassed to say, Paul, that all those years as a passenger, you've now really made it as a driver in your own right. Things really are coming together.
Yeah, we're really clicking now. We're going well, so hope it carries on.
Absolutely. And Kevin, I'll have a quick word with you, because I know you've been carrying that bandage all day. 2 weeks ago, problems?
Yeah, smashed them with tendons, ligaments in practice down at Biddington, but we had a good result. We won all 3 gigs and we won the final, so.
So that keeps you going. Indeed, a great ride this afternoon. Well done indeed. In second place, Paul Whitelam and Kevin Jones. So I'll get myself in that position again that we've just got one more crew to bring up. It is the one that everybody wanted to be in the place of. And I'm very, very pleased to see this crew going so well. When you think that last year everything seemed to be going wrong for them, they're now back on top form. They're able to beat anybody on the circuit, and as we know, we've got this Sidecars Super Cup down here on the 20th. The winners of the Battle of Britain, the name that'll go into the history books, is Duncan Tolhurst and Nicky Owen. Right, this is the embarrassing bit, Dun, because I'm going to ask you to say a few words, but first of all, since you won that this afternoon, I have had people jumping in the caravan telling me all sorts of nasty stories, like as of tomorrow, you've been married 19 years. It's worse. 19 years married, and such a romantic that he is, he done that win for her. Hey? But the bit that did make me smile was they said, do you know who his page boy was? Paul Hurry. Now does that make you feel old? Right, Dunk, a quick word, because I've not seen you going that well for a long, long time.
No, we didn't just try hard today. Everybody chose their Grasstrack bikes really, and yeah, I know we're going to be riding here in a month or so on our speedway bike, so yeah, we got it. And I don't get a lot of chance to ride my speedway bike, so I wanted to ride it today, and it's paid off, which yeah, I'm really pleased about.
Really pleased, because that track really changed today, didn't it?
It did change, and in the interval, when the rain came down, I thought, well, perhaps our day's over now. We'd had 2 wins, and I thought, perhaps, well, that's the usual. We start off quite well, and then it all goes wrong. But no, today it didn't go wrong, and yeah, it was good. It's good to win because yeah, over the years, the rain and Sidecars is very, very lots of competition, but at the moment I feel it's good. Like, to beat the likes of John, Rob and Ivor and such sides, you know, yeah, it makes me feel good.
Well, indeed, enjoy it, Duncan. The winners this afternoon, Duncan Tolhurst and Nicky Owen. So indeed, well, we take the pictures of the big winners in the 1000cc sidecar. Rob Wilson and Ian Welford, Whitelam, Kevin Jones, Duncan Tolhurst and Nicky Owen. It only then remains for me to say I hope you've enjoyed the racing as much as I have this afternoon. I knew the embarrassment would carry on. Nicky just said it's nice to be behind me uncle. So, just remains for me to say thanks, John. Thanks to everybody who's involved this afternoon. You had to persevere through the showers and the sunshine. We got there in the end. Some fantastic racing. Don't forget the dates to your calendars. Lots of big grass track coming up this season. And the way it's going at the moment, I think we've got some fantastic grass track ahead of us. Looking perhaps for Trevor Banks, who's gone into the lead into that first turn. Marco Hansruka and Mario Siebert. Lester Goodwin's not giving up. He closes right up on Malcolm Goodwin, tries to go around the outside. Malcolm Goodwin holds it tight, it's going to be close to the line. Malcolm Goodwin takes it, Lester Goodwin in second. Here's we get back to the drive on the start line, and it's Keith Drury this time that suffered. Absolutely lifted the machine in the air. He's not done as badly as Marco. We've got problems on the far side, as you can see. And again, we've got problems on that bottom turn. That's Steve Kensington. This come to grief on that bottom turn. But there's a lot changing further down the field as Neville Tatum has worked his way through. He's got up into indeed second place now. There's only one way that Darren Rolph is going to do it, and that's the long way round. He's going on the high wire as they come into the finishing line, but Neville Tatum's done enough. Being pursued. Oh, Rob Wilson absolutely flew out of that gate, and he's got himself to the front, and everybody's now got a chase. And he's gone very, very wide. It's Duncan Tolhurst that's looking for the gap on the inside. I think that Duncan Tolhurst has just got it. Rob Wilson has stayed wide though. Those two together as they go round the pit bend. Rob Wilson again has gone wide on that bottom turn. Ivor Matthews has noticed it, and he's gone for the inside. Now we saw this at the grand final of the North Parks, right on the last bend. Ivor Matthews did it, and he got the win. Now is he going to start the day by doing that sort of thing again as he comes off that pit bend? And Keith Drury's a lot quicker. He's got a gap this time. He's got a gap on the inside. Can he make it pay? Well, it's coming to the line, and he's going to continue the challenge. It's going to be good fight for this last lap. Brian Palmer forced to pull it tight. Mitch has stayed very, very wide. He's going the long way round. It's going to be a fight to the line, but Jeremy gets it. Going into that first turn, Dave Steer, I think it is, has got to the front. He's got Ivor Matthews right there with him, and he's forced Ivor to go wide. Ivor Matthews on the outside, Dave Steer on the inside, and it's Dave Steer that makes the best of it. Can they do it for the duration of the race? Ivor Matthews has always been right on that back wheel, looking for a way through, and there he goes. And I'm watching anxiously that battle for first and that battle for third, because look at Paul Cooper go around the outside of Mitch Godden. He's gone the long way round, he's done it the hard way, but he's actually done it, he gets across the line. Brian Palmer hasn't given up as he goes round the outside of Malcolm Goodwin and gets that third place back. Well, they sort themselves out on that first turn, and look at Keith Drury on the outside. He's in second place at the moment and going through into the lead. Marco Hansruka and Clive Willis for that second place. The two of them together again. Clive Willis on the inside. Marco Hansruka is still there on the outside, working very hard indeed. Simmons has tried to cut across from the outside to the inside before he even gets into the first bend. John Halsey said he'd work his way through and ended up in third place, looking for second as he goes down the back straight. He gets... He's gone very wide, he's very quick on the outside, he'll have to stay out. Has he got room to come inside? He has! He stayed out wide, he stayed fast, he goes down the back straight, Gary Jackson responds. Rob Wilson is quicker into the bottom turn, he's got to stay wide. Gary Jackson could get back at him, but Rob Wilson has stayed wide and quick and fast. But Duncan Tolhurst has tried the outside line. It's a long way round, and it looks to have got a wheel in front. John Hiscock not giving an inch though, and Duncan Tolhurst has to force his way into that second place. And again, Rob Wilson goes in hard and fast into the bottom turn. He's out wide. He keeps the power on. He keeps the speed on. It leaves him wide coming up. He's now got the edge. Has he got the line? He has got the line. Mitch Godden, I can see fighting back again. He's in third place at the moment as he closes right up on Dean Barker and goes through. Ian Lee Amos has had a tremendous start on the inside. Roy Rob Wilson tries to get round the outside of him and gets a nose in front as he comes out of that first turn. Really good start. Big Drury's problem. We got all sorts of problems as the outfits go over going into that first turn. Very nearly a nasty moment in that bottom turn, but Mick Cron has now got himself up into third. He absolutely flew out of the gate, and he's got the lead as he goes into that first turn. They're all ganging up behind him though. He's got John Halsey and Jason Glennie right on his back wheel. Duncan Tolhurst gets very, very close to John Halsey, looking for a way through. John Halsey looks to go around the outside of leaving no room at all for Paul Bickley, and it's all changed in that top corner. Or is it? It's all coming together again in this bottom turn. Duncan Tolhurst is riding a fabulous ride. He's got close to Duncan Tolhurst. He's looking for a way through. Rob Wilson knows what he's doing, and Rob Wilson goes round the outside. Rob Wilson is now attacking all the way around the outside. He's looking to have a go at Duncan Tolhurst as well. In that bottom bend goes Rob Wilson. It's a long way round. It's hard work. He's got a long way to go, and Duncan takes it. Whitelam in second, and Rob Wilson in third. John Halsey in fourth. Ivor Matthews